The recent explosion in the popularity of social deduction party game Among Us has brought one name to the forefront of gaming online, and that name is Disguised Toast.
Right.
So well played, Toast. Whatever, he wins.
Nah.
So you're gonna vote me. Whatever, he wins.
Yes, I
well
am.
Played. Well
yes,
played,
I am.
No. I'm so sorry, Scissors. I'm so sorry.
In the streaming world, specifically for strategy games like Hearthstone and Teamfight Tactics, Disguised Toast has been a well-known name for many years. However, little do people know, his career as a content creator started long before streaming. From his humble beginnings as a 16-year-old Flash game developer to his present as one of gaming's most recent big names. We'll be exploring all of that in today's video, the story of Disguised Toast. Jeremy Disguised Toast Wang was born on the 25th of November, 1991, on the small island of Taiwan. Being the youngest of 3 siblings, he enjoyed constant attention from his parents and older siblings.
Didi, wake up! Didi, wake up! We're here! Go, you do it. Yeah, be out.
I wasn't a mistake. I was just a happy accident.
Before the age of 1, his family moved to another island called Penang, near the coast of Malaysia, due to his father's profession as a coconut farmer. During this period, he switched periodically between attending a Chinese school and an international school, which gave him proficiency in both Chinese Mandarin and English.
大家好，我是吐司跟 PTT 的网友们，说个 hello， 因为
However, learning English in an international environment created peculiarities in his speech.
How much was that? $3. If I make a mistake writing, hey, can I borrow some rubber? People think I'm talking about condoms.
Eventually, Toast's father grew tired of his coconut farming business, and he had just heard from his eldest son, who now studied in Canada, that people easily harvested syrup by just sticking straws into trees. With Toast's education in the back of his mind, and the prospect of a new lucrative business in the forefront, Toast's family moved to Kingston, Ontario, where he would spend his adolescence. Like many first-generation immigrant children, Toast struggled with the English language as well as the cultural differences of his new environment.
So at lunchtime, I would sit in the corner of a hallway and quietly eat my packed lunch my mom made for me. She would make Asian food, but she's afraid that I would get made fun of because Asian food has some smell. So she would pack like what she thought was white people food. Yeah.
To combat this, he took every opportunity to make new friends, joining his school's badminton and yo-yo club, as well as his grade 11 student association. Another one of his strategies was to learn magic.
When it comes to magic tricks, you have to talk to people, but you have something to talk about, right?
And it also helped him with his pastime of picking up girls. Eventually, he made a name for himself as the Asian Harry Potter, and the attention and praises which came along made him realize that deep down inside, he had a desire to be in the spotlight. Another hobby he had developed during high school was coding Flash games, publishing 3 games in 2008 under the name of DKer on the once popular game hosting website Newsground. His first game, titled The Frustration Game, insulted players before making them maneuver their cursors to avoid touching the walls and other obstacles. It is by far his most critically acclaimed game, having been played over 150,000 times, even by massive YouTubers who have made videos garnering a total of 10.3 million views.
The frustration game! That was easy enough. Ooh, are you serious? Why does it sound like I'm in Texas or something like that? Wait, are you seeing that? That looks like the opening of a vagina. What the hell? Ooh, what? It sped up. What? It went backwards. It went backwards. Are you seriously doing this? Come on. Yes, now you see me. Oh my god. Screw you, Jeremy, for creating a stupid game. this is just broken.
Look at the sensitivity in your mouth.
Yeah, okay. I'll lower it then. I'll lower it. Please don't tell me I have to start all over again.
No, you get to enter a code.
Oh, what was that code?
There was no code.
Oh my god!
He switched up the genre with his second game, Origami, as he had players play as an origami bird flying through the plane of Mordor while avoiding fireballs and red paper dragons. His third game was the much anticipated sequel to his first, the Frustration Game 2, which introduced players to new mechanics as well as more challenging courses. Disguised Toast would go on to create 2 more games in the Frustration series, with his third cited as his worst due to poor art quality, and his final being a ruthless attempt at capitalizing on Christmas. Toast's career as a 16-year-old Flash game developer was surprisingly profitable, as he had received an offer of $1,000 for the rights to his Frustration game series, and the money he later used to buy his family a new TV.
Alright, I made $1,000. That cost $1,000. It writes itself.
This favorable experience with coding and making games would later guide his future decision after graduation to study at the University of Waterloo.
World famous for having the biggest nerds on the continent.
And he was no exception, as he majored in computer science, where females are even more rare than the extinct dodo bird. And he also spent his summers working on apps for major companies such as Mercedes-Benz, the NFL, and even the Royal Bank of Canada, where he was caught embezzling millions of dollars to help grow his father's maple syrup business. Toast also worked on the once popular mobile game Farmville, where kids were tricked into spending money in order to milk virtual cows and harvest pixels. However, the greatest piece of content from his university years has to be his role in reality YouTube series Next 36, where 70 young entrepreneurs battle it out for one of the 36 spots in an elite startup mentorship program.
These applicants are hungry, ambitious.
I've been doing push-ups every day since I'm 16. Did I write that in there?
Much is given to Next 36, but in return, much is expected.
Failing is a good thing, because the only thing worse than failing is not trying.
Throughout the selection process, Toast was only seen browsing Reddit on his phone, and this didn't go unnoticed by the judges.
I gave him a 2. He's the only guy I gave a 2 to.
2's pretty bad.
He was pathetic.
Was he worse than the other guy?
He will never be an entrepreneur.
However,
we probably made some mistakes.
Thus, with a pen in his mouth and another man in his embrace, he successfully obtained a spot as the Next 36. After 9 months, Toast completed the program and returned as the co-founder of
Pirate Studios. We were a mobile gaming startup, and the first product we made was this zombie apocalypse simulator.
I want to thank Jeremy for sharing their wisdom with us today. And the other date to share with you is September the 13th and 14th, when we will be having our first ever hackathon.
This news of a hackathon seemed to have piqued his interest, because in the following year, Toast became a finalist in Hack the North, where he taped an iPhone to his face and said,
"I am the Silicon Man. I am Iron Man's out-of-work cousin."
Operated with the swag glove, Silicon Man can provide light,
if I'm ever in the dark or I get too scared, just turn on the flashlight.
Entertainment.
You can also jam out to it. You just go ahead and make that rock and roll sign and that you're in love with me. Alright. What else?
Has an advanced AI.
His name's Whitman, so let's give it a try. Reminder, buy some milk.
I will remind you to buy some milk.
And even a feature for Coomers.
Whoa, what's up? What is going on? What is going on? Okay.
After 4 years, Toast graduated from Waterloo. However, he had only received a 3-year degree because during his 3rd year, he had dropped out of computer science.
Yeah, I couldn't do the full program. I would fail so much questions about big O notation. What's the computing time kind of deal? Oh, I don't know. But that front end though.
He later changed his major to math, but once again, he found it too difficult.
I got a 40% on my midterm. I got 20% on the last assignment. It's not possible. Oh, here's my recurring nightmare. I'm failing all my classes and I'm not gonna graduate. Even though I'm a streamer now, just last week, I remember this.
So he instead settled for a 3-year degree, which he found out wouldn't be sufficient for his goal of working for a US tech company where he could exploit free food and other benefits. With his future in limbo, Toast didn't really know what to do. until one day, on the 11th of March 2014, Blizzard released their digital card game, Hearthstone, and with it, the online personality we know today, Disguised Toast, was born.
I first got started was my brother when Hearthstone was announced. He was very excited because he was also a big Magic the Gathering fan, which is a card game. And he wanted to make a fan site for it. He would ask me if I could help him out by making content for it.
Thus, under the influence of his older brother, Toast began creating content for Hearthstone. But first, he needed to pick a name.
Disguised Toast, how did you come up with that name?
So in Hearthstone, we have a card called SI7 Agent. And when you play this card, he says,
"Ha, this guy's toast."
Wait, why is he saying disguised toast? Is he talking about a piece of toast that's like hidden or something?
Oh, I didn't get that. Now that you've explained it to me, I'm kind of bummed. Yeah, sorry.
Adopting the name and this logo, Toast began creating content in the form of infographics, which provided simple and easy to digest information about popular Hearthstone decks, as well as tournament results. He would share these on both Reddit and the popular Hearthstone forum Hearthpoon, where he would receive very positive feedback, and slowly build a name for himself. Toast continued creating infographics for a while, but he soon realized that they had relatively short shelf lives.
I mean, with most Reddit posts, you post it, it's on the front page for a day and it fades away.
He also couldn't financially support himself through these posts. Therefore, on the 8th of April 2015, he decided to start a YouTube channel. He then fully dedicated himself to creating a wide variety of Hearthstone content, from videos about card lore and interactions to quizzes and even analysis of professional players in tournaments. However, despite the success of his videos, he was afraid that one day the Hearthstone content well would run dry.
I knew I was going to run out of content. There's only so much cards to talk about. There's only so much bugs to talk about.
Seeking infinite content, he eventually came to the conclusion that the only solution was to become a streamer himself. Streaming did not come naturally for Toast. He was not only insecure about his appearance, but also afraid that his real-life friends would have negative perceptions of him if they found out. He started out streaming for 50 viewers, wearing his logo as a mask, and remained uncertain of his prospect as a successful streamer. However, on August 2016, while streaming one day, he accidentally tugged on his webcam cord, tilting the camera slightly, and for the first time ever, his real face appeared on stream.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, you guys just saw my face. Ah! No!
His 600 viewers at the time were ecstatic due to the incident, but their restless energy soon faded after Toast had fixed his mask and laughed it off. Everything seemed normal again. However, that was far from the truth.
Because what Toast hadn't noticed was that the snitches had already begun making their moves. After the incident, Toast started to receive threats that if a compensation wasn't paid, the world would know of his secret. Nevertheless, he decided to just ignore them. And one day, after multiple Reddit posts and uploads to YouTube, a snitch finally forced Toast's hands. He raised it up high, as if to deliver the final blow.
But what came down was not a slap with a copyright strike, since it was a direct rip from his stream, but instead the hand of mercy, because Toast had seen 9 years worth of content on his channel. In the end, he opted to make this video instead, where he explained the whole situation and guided viewers to watch his stream that day, where he did an official face reveal.
Oh my god, I've been wearing that thing for way too long.
The reception to his face reveal was extremely positive, and after the initial boost in viewership due to people's curiosity, Toast's popularity continued to grow steadily. This accident had been a blessing in disguise. Without the burden of hiding his identity, his personality could now truly shine. He continued to attend Hearthstone tournaments, where he would thrill audiences with flashy plays and unconventional decks. Even the way he lost was entertaining, as he was once disqualified due to oversleeping. During his career as a Hearthstone streamer, he was also known as the Game Breaker. With experience in programming and the help of some viewers, he found bugs through unintended interactions of different cards.
2 mana, 1 million damage hero power.
Although these bugs were entertaining for viewers, some former staff members working on Blizzard's Hearthstone team felt very differently. On the 8th of June 2017, Toast was testing out another bug on his stream.
Oh my god, it's a monster!
However, what he didn't expect was that later that evening, he would receive a call from Blizzard that his account had been suspended for promoting cheating. And that's when Toast realized his predicament.
If I don't talk about bugs, they like me more. But if I do talk about bugs, they won't like me as much. And it puts me in a really weird position of who to listen to.
Even though he had repeatedly cautioned viewers not to exploit this bug on stream, he understood that by showing the steps to recreate it, he had unintentionally provided some players with an unfair advantage. Thus, he made this video, where he explained the situation, apologized, which was the end of it, right? 2017 is arguably one of the most pivotal years in the story of Disguised Toast, because on October that year, he officially joined the content group Offline TV. When TwitchCon 2017 began, Offline TV as a newly formed content group was on the prowl for new members. The first streamer they approached was the most alpha of them all, Tyler 1. However, the dream of Alpha TV was shattered when T1 politely declined their offer.
I wanted to ask if you wanted to join our offline TV.
I don't know.
Nevertheless, the OTV members remained determined, and if asking nicely wasn't working, they were prepared to use force. And that's how Disguised Toast joined Offline TV. The official announcement for Toast joining OTV occurred on the 28th of October. However, his first time meeting the other members seemed to have occurred at a wedding 2 months prior.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
In the same video, he foreshadowed a brief career change.
I'm thinking of converting to PUBG streaming. No more Hearthstone. Hey Google, play Highway to Hell.
Playing on Spotify.
And explained his hesitation of living in a streamer house.
No, because when you room with your friends, you realize all the little things that they do that irritates you, and it just builds up over time and you start hating them.
But after TwitchCon finished, Toast decided to stay over at the OTV house. And on his second day there...
Hey, by the way, we're filming your introduction video on joining Offline TV, so, you know, get ready. I didn't want to be awkward and say no.
I hope they really like me.
Toast's recruitment process was as dodgy as getting free candy, but it somehow worked out, as he met the friends who would bring sweetness to his life, living and creating content together for nearly 3 years now.
So that's how I got debated into joining the streamer house Offline TV. And I am glad I got tricked into it, because I end up meeting some really cool people.
Toast has been involved in every piece of OTV content, from podcasts to challenge videos. However, for the fans of Offline TV, his pièce de résistance with the group is still unequivocally his role as Disguised Toast, the Harem King. Shipping, the act of supporting an often fictitious romantic relationship between two individuals, is a common occurrence in every fandom. With the recent addition of Disguised Toast, a seemingly inexperienced and relatable male gamer, as well as a mostly female cast of streamer friends, the stage, with or without their knowledge, was well and truly set. Initially, shipping occurred between Toast and his fellow female OTV members, Pokimane and Lily Pichu. Seeing the potential for content and lighthearted nature of the situation, they decided to play along. However, when OTV released their Bachelor parody video, Disguised Toast Finds Love, innocent shipping transformed into a community event where fans began to make memes, compilations, and tuned into their streams every day, hoping to see which girl Toast would actually pick.
Hundreds of thousands of people were showing up every day to watch my stream, just for the chance at progress with one of these girls.
Some viewers even tried to sway his decision with bribery.
Here's $1,000, Toast. If you and Janet don't go on a date, I'm gonna shoot, kind of deal. I feel like people are getting too invested.
Over time, most of the ships either sank or became abandoned, but the one ship that survived belonged to Janet X Chocobars and Toast, Jost. The vessel survived because of their consistent streams together, which showed viewers the genuine chemistry that was developing between the two. And although not publicly announced, the ship reached its destination and Jost became a reality. But for some viewers, it wasn't enough. In early September 2018, Toast and X Chocobars discovered multiple Discord channels dedicated to recording not just all of their online activities, but their families as well. From liked tweets to any Twitch channels they visited, everything was being documented. The worst thing was, the people in these Discords were the ones they trusted the most. From longtime viewers, donators, to even well-known members of their communities. They tried giving them a second chance by personally confronting them.
And I moved on to the next. And every time, they lied. Have you guys seen The Truman Show? There's this scene where his best friend from childhood, gets emotional with him and say, "Hey, I will never lie to you."
You're the closest thing I ever had to a brother, Truman.
And then you switch to a scene where there's an entire script of the actor's lines.
The last thing I'd ever do is lie to you.
The last thing that I would ever do is lie to you.
It was like the most heartbreaking scene in that movie.
In the end, the culprits were suspended from their communities, the Discord admins were notified, and the channels were taken down. Although this was a deeply unsettling experience for the pair, they remained strong and continued their path together, until their relationship ended amicably earlier this year. A relationship that didn't end as well was the one between Toast and the company which made Hearthstone, Blizzard. Toast was a Hearthstone creator for nearly 4 years, from his early 2015 infographics to his final Hearthstone video published on the 15th of June 2019. Having played the game for 4 years, nearly every single day on stream, enjoyment for the game was bound to diminish. However, what made it even worse was his many unpleasant experiences working with the company.
I had a Riot event and then I had a Blizzard event, back to back, right? And Riot paid me to go to an event. They gave me like $500 in Uber credits. And to travel for the Blizzard event, they're like, "F you, find your way here." I had to use Riot's Uber budget that they gave me so I can travel to a Blizzard event.
The incident which seems to have soured their relationship the most was when Blizzard invited Toast to fly out to California for the new Hearthstone season and proceeded to ghost him.
It's literally the day before the event and I messaged them. It's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Nothing. They ghosted me.
Toast later found out that the reason for Blizzard's action was punishment for the video explaining his ban, even though permission was granted by Blizzard themselves.
At the end of the call, I asked them, "Is it okay if I talk about everything you told me on this call?" Which is essentially the ban, the reason, the conditions. And they said, "Yeah, go ahead, totally fine." That made my relationship with Blizzard terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Thus, with dwindling enjoyment for the game and a tenuous relationship with its company, Toast was prepared for a career change. And when the Teamfight Tactics hype train arrived, he boarded not as a passenger, but as its captain. The auto battler game genre, where players assemble a team and have them suffer in a cruel endless cycle of battles, became popular in early 2019 due to the Dota 2 mod Auto Chess. Seeing its great success, Riot stole Valve's secret Krabby Patty formula and made their own version called TFT. They weren't sure if the TFT patty was good enough for the public yet, so they decided to invite some taste testers, and one of which was none other than Toast's close friend and fellow OTV member, Skara. Skara tasted the patty and instantly lost his coconuts. Later that day, he went back to the OTV house, sweating profusely while constantly itching his skin. Toast noticed his strange behavior and asked him what had happened at Riot Restaurant, but Skara didn't answer. He wanted to keep the secret all to himself. Seeing this, Toast knew what he had to do. He got on his knees and he begged, saying he couldn't go on with just kidney stone. Scara saw how desperate his friend was, so he relented and told him about the glorious TFT patty. Toast eventually became a beta tester for TFT, and with early access knowledge as well as his prior experience in playing and creating content for strategy games, he fully capitalized the game's release. In May 2019, before TFT was released, he was the 220th most watched streamer, behind Scara, but man graciously gave away the sauce. And in the next month when TFT was dropped, Toast soared to the 27th spot, with a watch time of around 2.5 million hours, which is more than double his previous. And in July, he went sicko mode, rising to the 16th spot with 3.5 million watch hours. This guy's Toast rose to the top of Twitch as the #1 TFT streamer, and shortly after, the streaming world changed when Ninja made his Mixer announcement. Being one of the top streamers whose contract with Twitch had also ended, Toast compared himself to
sexy girl at the club where all the boys were eyeing me.
In the end, he became the first major streamer to join Facebook Gaming.
I'm moving to Facebook Gaming. Check me out there. Bye.
Some were supportive of his move, but a majority had doubts about whether it was the right move. Opinions of the masses aside, these were his personal reasons.
Just being able to start over and to play the games I want and not have to cater to like a viewership number. I was like, oh, I gotta play this game because it's the hottest game. It's like, I gotta stream at this time because that's the best time.
Thus, like most previous streamers who have made the same decision, he sought freedom from the seemingly endless grind, which over time has almost become intrinsic to being a streamer. And this freedom could only be granted by the financial security for not just him, but also his family this opportunity provided.
So now that I have some money, I bought my family a house. I get to fly my mom first class for the first time. That's why I guess I have this fixation on money, because I don't want it ever being a problem for people I care about.
He began streaming on Facebook on the 22nd of November 2019, and things were seemingly settling down. Until just recently, an unexpected strategy game exploded onto the gaming scene, and just like The Undertaker, this guy's Toast awoke from his slumber.
When it comes to strategy games, I'm f***ing entertaining. And you might think, wow, that is some egotistical, head up your ass statement to make. But there's a difference between being humble and just knowing your worth.
This was the claim he made about his success as a TFT streamer, and his monumental achievements with the help of his friends and Among Us seems to further prove this point. Thus, the story of this guy's Toast is one of love, loss, hair loss, and finally playing to one's strengths, as his journey from a 16-year-old Flash game developer to becoming one of gaming's top content creators illustrates that by utilizing our own strengths, we can fully grasp the opportunities that come our way and hopefully create a better future for ourselves.
Talking trip to Puerto Rico. Say the word and we go. You can be my freak out. Girl, I be a fleeco mamacita. I will never make a promise that I can't keep. I promise that your smile ain't never gonna leave. Shopping sprees in Paris. Everything 24 carats. Take a look in the mirror. Now tell me who's the fairest. Is it you? Is it me? Say it's us. And I'll agree.